Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I would like to express my gratitude to the organizer today for, organizing this such a big event, as well as having me, to share the topics today, illuminating the path to a sustainable future through lighting design. Of course, everyone who joins the conference here. Okay. Before it begins, I would like to introduce myself, just in case you guys confuse who's this kid, on the stage. My name is Pete. So I'm currently working in a multidisciplinary consulting firm called Cundall, looking after the lighting design department based in Office, Hong Kong. So you can see the pictures here. I am a lighting designer, and urban lighting is not the only sectors I work for. Whenever people ask me what is lighting design, I always tell them it's pretty simple, with one word, one sentence, and 3 points that can actually pretty much telling what is lighting design. So lighting design is a combination of art and science, as long as it fulfills the needs of the space, create mood and visual interest, and also enhance experience. Wherever you can do that, is lighting design. Okay, so the next question is, what is sustainable lighting design? Sustainable lighting design goes beyond this objective. On top of that, we also need to ensure whether it achieves the energy efficiency, also minimize the environmental impact, and also promote the human well-being. Okay, here's the question I always be asked by, different people. Okay, right now I know what is lighting design, and I also know what is sustainable lighting design. Then how? How to do that? Unfortunately, I need to tell everyone here that it isn't any one-size-fits-all approach that can apply to every project. That's no. Instead, I wanted to share is the mindset of being a lighting designer, how we can make sure every lighting design approach that we establish is able to achieve sustainable lighting design. First rule, do not over-design. Being a lighting designer, it's really, really hard because sometimes we have to make sure we are competitive enough, stand out among all the competitors. And then we have to emphasize our value in front of the investor, show that, okay, here is my design. And then if that's the case, it's leading the result that we always put too many lights, which is unnecessary to the building or to the project or to the space. When I do the design with my team, I always ask the question myself when we complete the design strategy. What if I take out this light? Is it still able to tell the message that I want to tell? Is it still able to achieve the design objective I want to establish? And this is the first route leading the design or the result to the sustainable future. Here's one of the examples I'm going to show you, which is we completed that like 3 to 4 years ago, which is a residential building located in Hong Kong. So basically, it's located in Wan Chai. Not sure you guys are familiar with Hong Kong, but Wan Chai is one of the busiest, district area in Hong Kong. But if you look at the surrounding around the building, turns out this building is located in a residential district. When you walk into the district, the first impression that gives you is the calm, quiet. It's not that vibrant, it's not that popular, busy mood. And then the building here is like a residential tower. So our objective is how to make this building melt into the surrounding, the district, but also can enhance or appreciate the architectural feature, but not to disturb or destroy the nature of the building. We study the elevations and we study the usage of each story. And one thing we want to break through is the look at the balconies. Normally, we put downlights at the balcony, at the ceiling of the balcony, and then when you look up at the building during the light time, when the light is turning on, all you can see is the lighting feature, not the architectural feature. So to light up the whole building, to give a little bit additional touch, but to fulfill the illumination purpose of the balcony, the solution we came up is to make use of the handrail, incorporate the linear lights inside the handrail, the balustrade. So try to give an extra layer for the building itself, but in the same time, you can also serve it as an illumination for the balcony. Another similar approach that we adopted into the project here, which is a Banzheng Mountain Bridge in Zhuhai. So basically, this is a bridge building for a footbridge building for people, encourage people to walk up to enjoy the countryside view. And then look at the shape of the whole footbridge is sort of, curved, dynamic shape. And then one of the design requirements we received from the architect is try to enhance its shape, but not to disturb the surroundings. Here's the design approach that we came up, and then what we do here is like we use two layers of the linear light. One is incorporated at the outside of the handrail, and one is incorporated inside. So it serves like two purposes. One is to outline the whole bridges, but for the inner part, we serve it for the normal illumination surface when people walk along the bridges. So there won't be any additional lighting fixture going to be visible. And here is the real photo that we complete. Second point that we try to highlight is get rid of habit and explore new alternative. What's that mean? I recall the first day when I stepped into the lighting design industry as my career. And then one thing I afraid the most is having mistakes. And then turns out, I thought I found a pretty useful solution, which is copy from the past. Whenever I use the material like the spec or documents that save it in the master library, and then I use someone that done previously, and then I tell my boss, okay, this is something I did before. And turns out it's good. I'm safe. I thought it's useful. Then I won't get any mistakes. And until now, I thought that's actually not correct. We have to embrace, we have to be willing to learn to hear the new alternative. I'll tell you a little bit fun fact. If you look at the LED improvement, the story of LED improvement, the LED efficiency has increased like 30% in just 2 years. I hate to name somebody out, but if you recall the previous presenters, Mike and his team for that beautifully done London Bridge, they spent 6 years from concept to completion. So imagine if one of the team there had the mindset that I had, and they implemented the new project. They use the previous technology, they use the previous document. It's kind of stopping you leading to the future, which has a sustainability. If you recall my profile I showed you previously, I wasn't only do the urban lighting. So here's the example I'm going to show you. May exactly not relevant to the urban lighting, but just a little bit example to show you what new technology we have adopted in this project, and also leading to the next point I'm going to show you. So here is the Japanese restaurant. we just compete like last year. And then it's kind of fun that they have a very strong story behind. They wanted to package that restaurant in a theme that are driven by green vaccine, which is made by a local artist. And the sites there, they have like 50% of outdoor balcony terrace, which has a very nice view for people to get a drink, get some food outside. And first of all, the lighting downlight we used for this project, the fixture we use, the size is smaller than a Hong Kong $1 cont. Compared to the virtual fit LED ML16 that we used in the past, in terms of the size and lumen output, efficacy is at improved like 74% as shown here. And then the other thing is lighting control. I still remember the day that when I and my team do the, work out the tender package, my teammate is almost quiet in front of me. He said to me, "Hey, Pete, can you just use the traditional one because I can copy from the previous server? We don't have to do it. We just got 2 days to submit the package." And then I said to her, like, we always need to see whether what is the best product or solution for the client. The new technology, relatively new that time, is to abandon the traditional dimming system. It saves the space for accommodating the traditional dimming rack and dimming module. Instead, we use the Bluetooth system, placing next to the transformer to achieve the lighting control purpose. So if that instead the case that we reduce the wiring works, and also material waste, and also most important to the client, reducing costs. Here is the rendering done by the interior designer. And here is the real image. The reason I want to put this project as an example to show you is because we find the client is, visionary. They have a very strong visions. And then the theme is really interesting. And what we have came up the solution is really adding the extra layer to the space. Here's the video. We use the reflection when the light, pointing directly into the vaccines to cause that, to adding the extra layer to the space. And we also created a show using the dynamic lighting. So when you sit inside for dining, it also like you're sitting for enjoying the show here. It looks like, the pattern is moving around, even you sit there for, an hour for dining. And then one thing I really want to point out is about the outdoor terrace. We found that there's a wall next to the really massive wall, which is basically the building next their wall. We found it's a plain wall, which is really useful. So we suggest the client, why don't we just project the storytelling of this restaurant onto that wall? And then we came up with solutions. And because the surrounding is located in Central, and then next to Lan Kwai Fong, which is one of the most popular, drinking place in Hong Kong. And then we found that it's actually, interacting with the surrounding, with district, by projecting the video. So even though you're not inside the restaurant, you just walk down the street, when you look up, you still got attracted by the video. Last thing is we vitalize the space for lighting. When talk about sustainable lighting, the key is to save. In one word, to summarize. We think a lot of solutions come up, to save energy, to save material, to save wiring costs, everything. But actually, to me, the most important thing is not to find where we can save. It's more important to ensure our design solution is able to make this space, the architecture, long-lasting enough. Here's the project that I'm going to share. Is still in the design stage, but it's a food bridge located in Saudi, and then working with with an architect called Sahadi. The objective they're trying to establish is to create a food bridge which is not normal, compared to the normal food bridge, in terms of the people experience. It must be different. And then it contains a massive size of the LED screen will be projecting, advertising that kind of purpose. Before we begin the project, our team went to the site, finding out some of the existing similar, purpose of the food bridge, and try to find out what's the experience or what's the lighting approach there, and how we're gonna break through that to create a new approach as to match with what the architect want to achieve. You can see they still got the screen, and then there's still a food bridge across two main walls. And when you get inside to the food bridge, it looks like a warehouse in terms of the lighting approach or the color temperature they use there. And then we study about the location, where is the food bridge going to locate. And we study about the daylight analysis, because look at the structure inside, there's a lot of truss, crossing, and there will be casting a lot of light and shadow. So we don't want to waste that pattern. We did a daylight analysis, try to simulate what's the effect in different times, and what's the daytime, what's the journey when you walk along that bridges. By that time, we established the design aim and objective. And then we don't want to take over the hierarchy. One of the key points we need to tell the client is we know the LED screen placing outside is the main element, because when we drive a few kilometers away, you still can watch the commercial directly from the LED screens. And then the action we're trying to do is try to extend this value or impact all the way related to the structure or the architecture. And then how to interact that, and how to enhance the architectural enhancement, as to create a nice journey when the occupants walk up the bridges. And then it turns out we work out, as to tell the story properly, we defined the whole architecture into three parts. One is we call it entrance, basically the start from the staircase, and then how we're gonna light it up. The selection, the lighting fixture, which I'm not gonna elaborate in detail here, and the log simulations, the rendering, and then for the food bridges, one of the main objectives we established is wanted to appreciate the architecture. So in terms of the lighting location, we try to hide it as much as possible. So you can only see the lighting effect, but not the lighting fixture itself, especially during the daytime. So all the lights are placing underneath the deck. When you walk onto the deck, you won't notice the lighting fixture directly. But in the meantime, there's a concealed linear lighting, placing for underneath the bench, and the planters behind. Try to do some, study what's the lighting levels there, how to interact with the LED screen. And all the lights are coming with the DMX and RGB color changing, so we reserve the flexibility when the content of the LED screen, for instance, change to something red, we can connect with that LED screen. and the overall lighting schemes. One thing I try to highlight here is we are not only listening, but also we will come back with our thoughts with the architect. Here is the rendering from the original, rendering from the architect. And then you can see from the ceiling, the structure, they place a dot lights there. And then for the planters, they place a visible, almost surface mount to enhance the border of the planters. And this leading the result that if it turns it off during the daytime, all you can see is it's more like a burned lighting fixture. So after the discussion with them, we try to take it out and we use another indirect light to enhance the lighting fixture and going to demonstrate them what it looks like, in the daytime, in the night time. So we take out all this visible lighting fixture, but to tell them where should be brighter, where should be less brighter, just to create a hierarchy. We wanted to create an immersive journey to the occupant, whether we can, different experience, unlike that they walk through the existing footage that I showed you previously. So hopefully we can create another, experience, which is something new to make it long-lasting. And I think that's the end of my sharing today. So hopefully everyone can have something from my sharing. Thank you very much.